It's come to our attention this week at bodygraph.com that there are a lot of practitioners who are feeling like they cannot sell online because human design and astrology reports are free. Or people can get their human design charts online anywhere. Why would they come to my site? Why would they pay me for something that they can look up on YouTube? If you've ever felt like this, then this episode of The Pulse is for you. So I would love to remind you that just because someone can get information for free does not mean that they are able to integrate that information into their life. We live in an information age. There's information everywhere, and it seems like we are drowning in it. Most people, when they go to look on social media or online in some way, they are already overwhelmed with life. There's a lot going on, and they're there maybe to numb out, not necessarily to learn and to study. So while they may be taking in information, they probably are not taking it in a way that they can really integrate in their real life. Now, tell me if this has ever happened to you as a practitioner. You get someone in the room and they tell you that they understand human design and they start spewing out these things and how they're going to use them in their life. And you think, you're kind of missing something there. Something's just not quite right about this picture. And that's because there's a lot of BS online. We all know that. I'm sure that you every single day see something on social media about human design or astrology that you think, well, that's not the way I would explain it with a client. That's not how I would have a client using that in their relationship. And that's the key. Your clients aren't paying you just for information, they are paying you for the insights that come with it. I have said over and over again that human design is as much art as it is science. It's all about interpretation. You're going to interpret things in an entirely different way sometimes than I'm going to interpret them. Each and every gate, it's said, has 1,080 ways that it could express. What are the chances that we're all going to think exactly the same thing? And when you are intentional about living your design, when you are intentional about calling people to you through the messaging that's in your design and creating the content that draws them closer to you through your website content, your social media content, your bodygraph reports content, when you are really intentional about all that, you will call the people to you who value your interpretation and who want to get in the room with you so that they can actually use all of this information that they're collecting to move themselves forward in life. Information collection will never get anyone moving forward in their life. So I want you to think about that when you are putting your offers out there. So, a couple of other things to think about is that when people are in this information overload that they seem to be in on social media and other places online, it can create a lot of confusion. They may see the same things over and over and over again because AI creation is real. There are a lot of people who are just popping out stuff based on AI. And I don't know if you've ever caught AI in a lie, but I sure have. It's a thing, right? It is pulling information from all of the interwebs, and some of that is bound to be false. There was a court case, actually, they were talking about it at Podfest, where there was a court case, and a lawyer had relied on AI to write some sort of a debrief, and when he handed it in, it was found to be completely false. So I know that you see some of this stuff, and just know that your clients are seeing it too. And they too are wondering, is this for real? Buyer trust is at an all-time low. And the only way you're going to be able to cut through the noise is to get really good at explaining to people how they're actually going to use these things that they're learning in their own life. They can get 10 different interpretations on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, any of the things, but that doesn't mean that they're going to actually know how to curate that and use it in their real life. And deconditioning is real. Deconditioning is a thing that you as a practitioner probably have lots of tools in your toolbox that you can help them to move forward through their healing process. And they're not going to get that from Google. They're not going to understand that from YouTube or from Instagram or TikTok or any of the places. There is something to be said as well for people paying attention to what they pay for. Tell me, dear listener, how many PDFs and ebooks do you have in your computer that you have downloaded from websites that you have never used? because they're free. And if they're free, we only put so much value on them. But if we pay for something, we're going to actually use it. And it's going to be the same with your report that you're selling, with your reading that you're selling, with your coaching that you're selling. When you are charging for your services, people actually come in and do the work. In fact, the more that you are charging for your services, the more likely people are to pay attention. But that's probably a story for another day.